Okay, let's have the economic conversation. It's not a difficult or a straightforward one. Uh, Jaijit, okay, so let's look at it that the earlier hope was that this is just grandstanding, brinkmanship, showmanship. It's going to happen for a couple of months. There'll be a deal. We'll all be able to move on. That's what happened in Trump 1.0. Okay, we made the Boeing purchase order and we say, okay, we'll buy the howitzers and the Apaches and we'll invest these many billions in creating American jobs, and it all went away. This time, it doesn't look like a temporary problem. Okay, it's an in principle issue now. So it's here to stay, which means there's going to be damage. There's going to be damage to America and damage to us. Exporters out of India, whose primary market is the United States, in the couple of $100 billions of trade which we do with them, a lot of them are exempt. So we were discussing Apple is exempt for the next 1 year. The pharma industry is exempt. So who are the ones who are actually being affected? How much of it? How many billions of dollars of trade is actually going to be affected?
No, actually, quite a lot is going to get affected, and you would see everything that's important for US, including minerals such as barytes, which is very critical for drilling, and India is the largest supplier, has been excluded because that's important for the US. But if you look at textiles, gems and jewelry, and many other such products which are really labor intensive, we are going to get hit. So it's not just the value of the product, but the hit it will have in terms of employment. These were large employment generating industries. Also, the issue is that once let's say a textile industry closes down, it's very difficult to restart it. And many of them are planning to shift out because of the difference in tariffs that US has put on India. So it's going to be challenging. We are putting up a brave face, and we need
Okay,
to.
all right. So straight question. As of 27th August, is it cheaper to buy from Bangladesh, from Vietnam, from China if you are a textile importer in the US, because the US doesn't have a textile industry? So are these countries now cheaper?
Short answer is absolutely yes.
Okay.
They are significantly cheaper.
Okay, so if they are cheaper, is there a possibility for these companies in the next 6 months to pivot to other markets? Australia, Japan, UK, all the other deals that we are doing?
Well, US is 20% of the global economy, so it's difficult for the textile industry to quickly pivot. It's going to take time because
Okay, so we're going to take a hit there. All right, you mentioned gems and jewelry. 90% of that trade, especially in diamonds, is processed through India. Okay, so is there any other option? Is there surrogacy that can happen, that the Indian gems and jewelry go to a third party country and then go into the US? Is that's what's going to happen? Because I don't think people will stop buying gems and jewelry.
Well, it's a mix because the character rules come in, which is the rules of origin. So it'll be a little difficult to mask that. And what it seems is that President Trump is fine with people paying more for the diamonds because it's not really an essential product from a US perspective. So
Okay.
is he okay to let the people take the hit?
Okay, any hit for the American economy? Because Donald Trump says, I'm going to make $300 billion for the exchequer from these tariffs, and I'm going to use that on the American people. And this is all good news, that this is going to bring back manufacturing to the United States. It's going to really help us. But is there going to be an inflationary hit to the American economy where it has already experienced an inflationary hit? A McDonald's burger in the US, ladies and gentlemen, costs almost 40% more than it did 2.5 years ago. So what's the impact on America?
So, Rishabh, I think you came out with the right statistics because the McDonald burger is used as a metric. And this is going to get worse, at least in the short term, because of the reasons we just discussed, because the tariffs are actually being paid by the American people. Now, what the Trump administration is betting on is because of these tariffs, people will set up manufacturing in US. We are in the midst of many of these discussions and they haven't moved forward because it's just impossible to set up this manufacturing in US because of the labor rates. Now, if the labor rates come down significantly means by 1/10, only then they can start competing. Otherwise, it's very difficult to set up manufacturing in the US. So we don't see that happening.
So let's give an example. If Apple shifts all its manufacturing of the iPhone, which it is currently shifting from China to India to the United States, it can no longer compete with Samsung. Okay. in Korea.
Absolutely.
It's very straightforward. All right, it just can't compete with them. And not even on technology, all the Apple screens. So all the iPhone screens, by the way, are manufactured by Samsung. So it's on technology. It's not just cheap labor. The technology also, all of it is not in American control or in American manufacturing, even though the IP for a lot of these are owned by American entities like Qualcomm and all the others. Okay.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.